player that should get the bag in 2021 is Allen Robinson. Do you remember that time 3 years ago when Andy Reid paid a hell of a lot more for Sammy Watkins than he did Allen Robinson in free agency? I do too. It's funny because some of y'all just want to like coach worship Andy Reid and, pump Clyde Edwards-Helaire up to the RB1 chair in the 2020 draft class. But that's a topic for a different day. We're talking about Allen Robinson today. And Allen Robinson is a dude who put up a wide receiver 7 season with Blake Bortles in 2015. He put up a wide receiver 9 season with Mitchell Trubisky in 2019. And then last year in 2020, he put up a wide receiver 13 season with a combination of Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles. It can't get worse. It cannot get worse. And now Allen Robinson is a free agent. It can't get worse. This is rock bottom. So Allen Robinson, he's a throwback, right? Like he fits the profile of the Bully X receiver. He's 6'2", he's 220 pounds. He's dominated every step of the way, dating back to college, where he was the offense at Penn State. He's an alpha through and through. It shows up in the game logs. In 2019, he had a 27% target share. In 2020, it was 25.4%. Over the last 2 years, he's averaged a 26.2% target share. That is well within range of a wide receiver 1 season. And remember, alphas eat first. And make no mistake, Allen Robinson is an alpha. Wherever he lands, he eats first. So I have him ranked in the top tier in a range from wide receiver 9, or I have him ranked in a tier from wide receiver 9 to 15 in my Dynasty rankings on Patreon. And I give every player a buy, sell, or hold designation. I gave Allen Robinson the buy designation. I think he's someone you should go out and get. A new thing I'm implementing for the Dynasty rankings starting on February 21st is I'm putting in high-level projections. I'm not saying like he's going to score this many points. I'm saying I think he's either going to be a top 5 receiver, a top 12, top 24, top 20, top 36, so on and so forth. So I'm giving them like a top 5, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, so on and so forth. Allen Robinson is one of the players I feel most confident about. Obviously, his projection isn't concrete at this point. He's a free agent. We don't know where he's going to land. I'm using the expectation that he's going to end up somewhere in the middle. He's going to get an average situation. And I feel really good about Allen Robinson with an average situation. Each player is going to get a designation on their projections. It's either going to be, they're going to have an expected, so where I think they're going to end up. So with Allen Robinson, I think he's going to be a top 12 receiver if he's in a moderate landing spot. If he's in a good landing spot, I also give that projection. So if he ends up, with Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill tears his ACL and he's out for the year and it's just Allen Robinson and Patrick Mahomes, I still think he's going to be a top 12 receiver. I don't know that there's a landing spot out there right now that's going to push him into the top 5. That one might be, but that's kind of far-fetched. That's not within reason. There's no open landing spot right now that is going to push him into the top 5 for me. And then I give a low, so that's their expected, their ceiling, and then I give them a low one. So what's their floor? What if he ends up in the worst landing spot? I still think he's going to be right in that top 12 range. I can't see it getting worse than it is right now. I mean, maybe he goes to top 15, but my designations are top 5, top 12, top 24, and he's going to be in the top 12 range. So what would I pay for Allen Robinson? I gave him the buy designation. How am I buying him? According to DynastyLeagueFootball.com's trade analyzer, his trade value is roughly a mid-first round pick. I'm not spending a mid-first round pick on Allen Robinson. That's not how I like to play Dynasty. I believe that I'm getting a bulletproof wide receiver in the middle of the first round this year. I'm getting a 21-year-old Allen Robinson all over again. I'm not willing to trade that. So how do I get Allen Robinson then? What's my strategy to go out and buy Allen Robinson? If I have a 2020 rookie that didn't pop the way I had hoped, so someone like a Jerry Jeudy or a Jalen Reagor or someone like that, those are the guys I'm looking to go and flip for Allen Robinson. You might be able to get Robinson straight up for Jerry Jeudy. You're probably going to have to add a little to Jalen Reagor, but that's the kind of deal that I'd be looking to structure. And the other way to attack it is to come from above. So one of my favorite things to do is trade like really high level wide receivers. Like the guys at the top of the list. I want to trade those guys away. So you can do it either with like an aging veteran that hasn't lost his value yet, like a Devontae Adams or DeAndre Hopkins, something like that. If I could trade down from one of them to get Allen Robinson in a first or a first and a second or even 2 firsts, I doubt it, but could happen. I'd be really into that. The alternative is the guys that are valued super high that I just don't think have super high ceilings, like someone like like an AJ Brown or a DK Metcalf. Those guys are in the WR1 overall conversation, and I don't have them there. My projections don't say they're going to finish as WR1. I think they have very similar projections to Allen Robinson. So if I can flip those guys and get Allen Robinson plus for them, like those guys I might be able to get 2 firsts for. Allen Robinson, DK Metcalf for Allen Robinson and 2 firsts, I'd be very into that. Even a first and a second, that would be fine with me. Something along those lines. So anyway, I think you should go buy Allen Robinson. Like, go get him right now.